time, and now I call the honourable member for Perth.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Can I just comment on the last speaker's contribution? The biggest deceit that has been perpetrated on the people of rural Australia is that there is no climate change problem for us to deal with. Who are the people that are going to be most severely compromised by the failure of this government to address these key issues of climate change? It is going to, in fact, be the farming community. So you can go on there and say that we're going to tell this lovely story. We're going to make them feel happy. We're going to make them feel happy that this is not something that they have to take into account. We don't have to deal with the problems in the Murray Basin. It's all going to be fantastic. We make everyone feel happy. But one day you have to wake up and you have to find out that there is no Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus, and you actually have to you've missed the opportunity. You have missed the opportunity to deal with this very important point. We had today, I'm just astounded by the hypocrisy of the other side. We had the Prime Minister last night addressing, we had the Prime Minister last night addressing the Minerals Council, and he was talking about the importance, the centrality, the economic sense of price signals. The economic sense of a price signal, so when you're sick, you get a price signal when you're sick. Don't go to the doctor too early. You get an economic price signal when you might need to have your prescription filled. Don't have it filled too early. These are important price signals to tell people that they're not really as sick as they think they are. But the price signal that tells industry that polluting the environment with carbon, well, that doesn't work. Like, that's another completely different thing, apparently. Well, I don't understand that. I don't understand that logic. I would have thought that the alternatives available to industry to minimise, reduce, develop alternate strategies to reduce their carbon were far more profound than the opportunities that were available to someone who was sick than going to the GP. Now, I just want to talk about a couple of small issues that really profoundly concern me about the cuts. And the first one, I want to talk about what's happening in the Kimberley and the Pilbara. As we go around, as part of the Northern Australia Committee recently, we've been right across Northern Australia, and it is so evident to all of us, cross-party, that we need to deal with the profound dysfunction of so many of those Aboriginal communities, that they really, really need a detailed and urgent assistance to strengthen those communities. We see some wonderful stories, some wonderful successes. We understand that the work that women like June Oscar and Emily Parker are doing in Fitzroy Crossing, in getting behind and developing alcohol bans and using that period of relief then to strengthen the community is so important. And they've got a family and learning centre. In fact, they've got the Aboriginal Child and Health Centres. There's 4 of them in the Kimberley and the Pilbara. They are all getting their funding cut, all getting their funding removed. The national partnership funding is being removed. The state government has said that they will give them interim funding now for 6 months, but there no longer is any money in that budget. So we are paying to wealthy women in Sydney $50,000 to have a baby, to make sure that they can bring that baby up in a loving and nurturing environment. But those women in Fitzroy Crossing, those women in Roebourne, those women in Halls Creek, those women in Kununurra that are utilising those family and child services, well, apparently their need is not as great because there is no longer any national partnership money for them. And if the state government does not cough up and fill in the gap, those centres will close. And I do note that my good friend, the member for Durack, and I do like the member for Durack, but I do note her telling the local media that this was to cut out duplication and waste. Well, hello. I mean, there's hundreds of miles between Kununurra, Halls Creek, Roebourne and Fitzroy Crossing. You can't have a mother from Kununurra taking her kids off to the family centre in Roebourne. This is an absolute disgrace. This is an area of great need.